Recording. Good morning, everyone. This is Glenn McKnight, Secretariat of ISOC Ontario. I have the agenda shared with everybody. So I'd like to just, if I have the indulgence of Wecker, if I can just start the meeting off, and then I'll pass it over to him as the chair/president. So we call the order, everyone. Let's just do roll call, if you don't mind. Moyable, Mobud, present.
Yes.
Joan Kerr,
Present.
Wacker,
Present.
Zugart,
Yes, present.
and regrets from Rukia. Thank you so much. Okay, the second item, we would normally have the motion to pass last meeting, but it's not applicable. So I'm going to turn over to our president, Wacker.
Thank you so much, Glenn, and thank you everyone for placing your trust in me and electing me as the chair of ISOC Ontario. I'm truly honored to take on this opportunity and responsibility, and I look forward to working with all of you as we build a strong, inclusive, and forward-looking chapter for our province. So as we begin this new chapter, our mission is to clear, to support an open, globally connected, secure, and trustworthy internet for everyone in Ontario. So together we can shape meaningful initiatives that benefit our communities, from youth engagement and digital inclusion to indigenous connectivity, seniors online safety, and public awareness. I would like to share our roadmap for 2025 and 2026. So I will have to share a slide. I make a slide. So let me open it here.
Okay. Okay, I stopped sharing and I'm giving you the opportunity to share.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not able to share my screen. Can you give me the rights?
Yeah, I just did.
Let me know when you can see.
Yep, multiple users. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so as you know that this is our first meeting, and so I would like to discuss about our vision and roadmap for 2025 to 2026. The next slide. You can see here. Let me show. Sorry. Okay. So we need to build a strong and engaged membership here as a in Internet Society Ontario chapter, and we aim to expand membership across Ontario, connecting with individuals, universities, tech communities, and civil society groups. Social media visibility and event participation will help establish our presence. And we need to also encourage members to take advantage of global ISOC opportunities like training, IGF programs, and fellowships. We need to strengthen our chapter impact. And there is another part of my slide is strengthen governance, which is very important in need to build a transparent and functional administrative structure. This includes clear role definitions, reporting process, and official filings. We need to prepare for ISOC Foundation Chapter Admin funding, and Feb 2026 is a key operational milestone. So the next slide is based on sport key community programs, which is led by we have an upcoming session, the seniors and online safety, which is led by Zulkar, and this program will focus on fraud awareness, cybersecurity basics, and digital literacy for older adults. And the indigenous connectivity, we will work with the indigenous organizations and community networks to support grassroots broadband initiatives. And we need to prioritize respect for indigenous leadership and local innovation. And we also need to engage youth engagement in partnership with the different universities in Ontario, different universities and colleges to involve students in internet governance. Like we have platforms like Youth IGF Canada and NextGen at ICANN, so we can use these platforms in order to mobilize the youth in our chapter. the other part is strengthen public presence. We need to launching and maintaining a professional chapter website and AMS, publishing press releases and updates to showcase our progress, and expanding presence on social media platforms such as X and Facebook. So the policy engagement, the ISOC Ontario chapter will play a role in shaping internet policy discussions in Canada, such as NARALO, ICANN at large. We can contribute to global multi-stakeholder internet governance. We can also participate in the CERA process, especially around domain management, access, and digital rights. We need to advocate like digital affordability, universal access, privacy protections, and an open, secure internet for all Ontarians. Uh, there is a roadmap for the administrative foundations that we need to complete corporate filings, bank setups, bylaws, and governance documents. We need to ensure compliance with Ontario requirements. The administrative foundations will allow us to operate effectively and qualify for ISOC foundation funding. We need to prepare early for the funding window in February 2026 is critical to sustaining operations. So in this slide, there is a roadmap regarding the community programs. We need to deliver outreach trainings, workshops, and online safety learning modules. And we need to build a partnership with organizations focused on community-driven broadband. We need to support indigenous-led strategies rather than top-down solutions. And we need to create student-focused ISOC clubs or chapters at key universities like University of Toronto, Toronto Metropolitan University, Waterloo, Carleton University. And we need to promote youth leadership in internet governance. The other part is communication and visibility, which is very important in building credibility and trust in consistent communication. And there are some action items that we need to publish our first annual report to document progress. We need to maintain continuous website updates and provide transparent information. And we also need to attend and participate in tech policy and community events in Ontario to increase our visibility. So these efforts will definitely signal that the Ontario chapter is active, organized, and community focused. The sustainability, you know that long-term sustainability ensures the chapter remains active for years to come. We need to work with libraries, digital literacy organizations, and tech groups to expand our reach and capacity. And we need to explore ethical partnership and grants that align with ISOC values. And we also need to engage volunteers and members in Ontario to attract and the stronger and more sustainable the chapter becomes. So thank you for your support, and if you have any feedback and if you have any input in making our chapter more stronger, then you can reach out to on these email addresses. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we can, if it's Parker, did you want to engage feedback from our committee?
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody have any questions for Wacker or any feedback?
So I have a question. So excellent goals. I was just wondering, were we incorporated as a founding board? And how long is that? And what do we want to achieve as a founding board for the board? So the reason I ask that is because if you have a founding board, you don't have to necessarily be as strict in terms of the strategies and stuff like that. The founding board is usually to set up the paperwork and then to get elected people to the board. So I think that's something that we should be focusing on as well.
Me and Zukar can respond to that. My impression, that's true. We've set it up that way, and I think it's normal for ISOC to see the new chapters as basically in the first few years, rather than focus on elections, to focus on getting a good structure and a good strategy set. So I think the term of this founding board is 3 years, and then we
Uh-huh.
have to go through the process of normal elections and nomination committees.
Oh, so it's 3 years. Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's my impression. But good point, Joan. Zugar and I will go through the bylaws that we crafted, and I will double check with Kyle Schumann, who we worked with for the last number of months. But it's a good point. We'll follow up on that. Oh, sorry, Wecker forgot his last slide, so I have to go back to sharing with him.
Yeah, so I just again put over the chat that the last slide was or the feedback and the input from our chapter members, so they can reach out to these email addresses. I just put over the chat.
Okay. Did you want to share it on the screen again, or?
Oh yeah, sure, sure. Me- So let me know when you can see.
We don't see it. There's okay. Is that your last slide?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so there's we've set up the emails for president, secretariat, treasurer, and website. So those are all set up in the Bluehost. So again, the primary two emails, if you're sharing with people, are these two, president and secretariat. So, okay, looks like I'm just checking the chat. Okay, it was just here. Okay. Any other comments before we move on? That's it. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me go back to the agenda. So do we see my agenda?
Yeah.
Is it up?
Yes.
Okay, I don't see it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so thank you, Mr. President. So let me just go through real quickly. This is the boring stuff. So if you do fall asleep, like President Trump, I expect you guys to poke each other, okay? ISOC application took forever, and I have to explain. It was started in June, back and forth with Kyle Schumann. Everything was submitted on July 27th with a check, a cashier's check from the bank with the printed nuance, which is a business name search. The entire application was sent to the government of Ontario, and they lost it. So I kept chasing them and chasing them. I was having a search. So finally, I said, I'm going to bite the bullet. I paid for it again, and that got done in 3-4 days. And by the time that was all done, it was announced at the IETF, and thank goodness that Moyable was able to join after a very long week at IETF, and so he had a chance to meet the current board, meet the chapter delegates from other Canadian chapters. So long story short, we're official. So I'm glad to say we can now go to the bank, set the bank account up. So we've contacted the TD Bank. So Zulgar and Joan will, as two signatures, as treasurer and assistant treasurer, will set that up. The other thing that Kyle Schumann gave me is membership. So the AMS, basically he's assigned tasks. So I guess he's dealing with me. So I'm maintaining the database of people who are applying to become members. So we have now 25 voting members, which are Ontario-based residents, which is based on our bylaw. And people can join, but they're non-voting. So we have one non-voting. And each day, people people apply to join. In addition, we've completed a press release, which I've sent to everybody, so that they have a copy of it. We set up the social media X which is ISOC Ontario. That's the @ the Facebook is set up. I'm having a bit of a problem having Zulgar joined as a co-manager. I need to go offline because it keeps coming back to my app on my phone to authorize it, and the code is not accepted. So right now, the only person who's posting on the Facebook is myself. But as was stated in the summary, it'll happen. I've already mentioned the treasurers. I don't think Joan and Zulgar, there's no treasurer report, correct?
Not yet.
Okay. I have something in the notes further down what our financial situation is. If you want, let me pull it up. It's further down. So if you look at this sheet, what we have is the transaction. We have our incorporation number. So we had to pay for the name search, which was $164. We paid $155 for the registration, $9.95 for the bank draft, $1.95 for postage, and then I purchased a domain name, which is isoc-ontario.org. Also, I purchased the .ca version of it. And so, as I stated, on October 21st, I re-registered it because they lost it all. And also I purchased Constant Contact for an ongoing newsletter. So what is indebted to me is $622.48. Now, all those expenses are completely legitimate. I have them all documented for the treasurer and assistant treasurer. But I want to point out to everyone, these are the legitimate expenses for the chapter. So registration, renewal, we did not incur legal costs, which would have been about $1,200. I did it myself. Setting up the bank account, there's going to be a bit of a cost if we choose to have checks. Liability insurance is something that we may want to look at. I'll get some quotes for that for our discussion. So, administrative support, office rent, stationery, office furniture, accounting, audit charges, compensation for paid staff, Zoom licenses, voting tools. These are all legitimate expenses that ISOC will pay, but it's not in the cards until we really have the money to purchase that stuff. Membership management, we don't have that, but it's something we can look to in the future that everybody gets assigned a membership number. I forgot to mention, I did purchase business cards for Wacker, so we had them at the CIGF. Website development, Zulgar and Rukia, Rukia was really, really busy and Zulgar was away. So I'm hoping we can pick up the pace on fixing the template. I installed the ISOC template instead. Then it's basically needs work on it, but the hosting is Bluehost. Next, General Assembly. Again, when we have our AGM in a year from now, we'll move towards some active subcommittees, and that's what Marco was alluding to. As I said, website update is required. So as you saw there, that's all legitimate expenses. We're not going to have anything close to that in terms of our expenses. So let me go back to the agenda again. Okay. I want to point out, in terms of directorships, we set up our bylaws with the roles of president, executive, secretariat, treasurer, and assistant treasurer. According to ISOC, we need to fill in 2 positions. So it's in highlight yellow today. So we need some nominations for the the position of administrative vice president and also the assistant secretariat. So those two have to be filled, and I have to let ISOC know. So anyone want, okay, first one, administrative vice president. Is anyone willing to run for that position?
How much time commitment these positions?
None. It's as we can become more organized and a larger organization, this is just it's kind of a silly thing. I don't know why they have these extra roles, because it's basically there's the president, there's the vice president, and administrative vice president, which sort of duplicates the role of the secretariat, and then there's an assistant secretary. So I'm at a loss on the logic. So I think we have to fill it, but in my opinion, I don't think it's any responsibility. Not now, maybe when we get larger and bigger, it'll become functional, but we just have to have a name for the time being.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you could put my name on the assistant secretary.
Okay, is that Moyable?
No, assistant secretary.
Sorry, I can't hear.
Oh, your assistant. Assistant secretary.
The administrative vice president. Do I
No,
have
no,
a,
no. No, not this one. Yeah.
okay, as assistant secretary?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so who is speaking? I can't see it.
Mohibul is speaking.
Okay, thank you, Moyable. Okay, so I'm going to put your name in. For formal, do we need a formal vote on that, or we have everyone agree?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep. Anyone disagree?
agree. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's done. That yellow. I'm going to take off the yellow, and I'll do that. I'll let them know. And okay, what about administrative vice president?
So what's the difference between that and what Rukia is?
They do not have any descriptions. This is a large organization. They expect chapters to follow a certain protocol. It makes no sense.
Because to me, it's like I don't know what the role or responsibility outlines are, but just the name is that if, whatever, it's not just taking notes, it's like overseeing that the actions are done. That's how I interpret it.
Yeah, Joan, I honestly think Wacker and I will have to work very closely hand in glove.
Yeah.
So you can call, I'm going to put my name down for that because that's what I do with Wacker, right?
Yeah.
We're back and
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
Anyone disagree with that?
Yes.
Oh, you disagree?
No, sorry. I had misunderstood.
So, okay, let me see. Shake your head for me. Yes. Okay, not this? No? Okay, the Indian wobble. We're all confused. Okay, back to the agenda. Thank you so much. Those I hate doing that stuff, but that's the nature of the beast. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I'm going to turn over to committee work, and I'm going to ask Zogar to talk about seniors and fraud.
All right. Hi, everyone. So again, just to echo what everyone is saying, I mean, this is like fantastic to be here, for her first official meeting. And I just want to, say, who huge thanks to Glenn and Walker, for steering this ship and finally getting us through the incorporation and this chartering process. So really excited about what we can accomplish as a team. And I'm ready to hit the ground running on this. For the committee work, seniors and fraud, as you already aware of the big picture, so like we've been very passionate about this topic, and I've been tasked with leading this one, and I've spent basically the last few months, developing basically a very comprehensive and a cost-effective strategic plan for our seniors fraud program. And I shared a bunch of documents over the last few months on this. So as you know, that the problem we have been tackling is pretty massive. Like it's over $500 million crisis in Canada, and only like 5 to 10% of senior fraud gets reported. So the current solution is what I'm calling like there's a term, it's called reactive shopping list. So the PDFs, currently how people are tackling this is basically PDF documents that tell you what to do after you have been scammed, and it doesn't really build any resilience. So it's all reactive at this moment. So my proposal, which was like in the training blueprint that I drafted, is not to spend like tens of thousands of dollars like producing like a Hollywood level course from scratch. That's very slow and expensive. So we need to be like nimble. So which is why we decided to adopt like a smart, sustainable model, and kind of like become like expert curators to tackle this issue, and curate all the information that we need to tackle this. So the plan is to build a central safety hub, what we are currently calling a digital safety hub. This is basically a placeholder, a term for this. So we will basically populate this hub. It's an online platform. We'll be populating this by curating the best-in-class, like trusted content that already exists, from partners like, for example, RCMP, for example, Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, and for example, Canadian Bankers Association. So we already have tons of material already available that we could repurpose for our context. And then we could add our unique ISOC Ontario value through, into this. And the plan is to inject our value through two methods, both of which are low cost. Number one would be, ISOC Ontario context wrapper. So basically, we record simple professional intros, outros, maybe one of us on camera, and wrap around maybe a curated video that's already produced by RCMP. So, and this adds our brand, and it could build trust, tells the learner why the content, is important. And then we could also use, AI-generated micro-explainers, for new threats where we don't have good videos or good content existing, currently exists. For example, like AI voice clones. Currently, we have a lot of frauds happening using, AI-generated voices where someone fakes maybe, family member who asked for money from a senior. So we could use simple AI tools to create all these, various explainer videos. So to make this real, as you know, I designed and I shared last a month ago, basically a full storyboard and an interactive prototype for our digital safety shield course, which is basically our very first attempt at creating an interactive introductory course. So that prototype is basically my core agenda item today. So it shows our, pedagogical model in action. Like it uses a relatable case study, and we have like an avatar, Carol from Oshawa, who would guide the learners, and it's built on basically an active learning model, scenario action reinforcement. So you don't just read the story from Carol. You also take actionable steps alongside, along with Carol. So you help Carol spot the various scams. So, and it also includes like a digital drill ground where the learners can practice, like scam identifier quiz, and even, at the end, maybe even sign up for a volunteer phishing simulation. So it lets them get drilled in a safe space. So this is so far the progress. So I would like to open the floor for your feedback, on the prototype, whether the narrative that we have built in our prototype course, whether it works, the scenarios, are they compelling enough? Any urgent changes or gaps you can identify, before we, move to build the actual pilot, finalize our pilot module. And again, like the delivery, I also want to touch on the delivery aspect of it. Like this won't be like a fire and target online course, we had a call with the ISOC Mexico chapter, and they had a successful seniors program. So it also shows that like in-person workshops are also non-negotiable in building the trust. So that's something we also cannot ignore, even though our primary mode of delivery would be online.
We have a question from Label.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so yeah, first of all, great work from Zulkar and Glenn. Just one thing I would like to add. Yeah, so this is the cybersecurity thing is a priority, like actually like from everywhere I could see. And maybe one thing also we could add, like just to give an idea, actually it's not a question, give an idea, like I have seen recently, I have read something like people also getting confused on like different like AI related AI made video or voices. Like maybe you have heard something like that Canadian Prime Minister is telling that you could invest say such and such amount and you could get some so I think people lose some money also that. So maybe if that, just checking whether if that kind of thing also included. So yeah, just an idea. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, in our prototype course, we actually included an AI voice-based, fraud and how you can tackle that. We created a scenario-based activity where we have, someone, a nephew or niece, calls. It's the same voice, and it's an AI-generated voice, and how that AI voice tries to, siphon money of a senior citizen, and how you can, identify whether this is an AI, how you should,
very difficult to recognize. Someone mentioned that they are very alert person, but still they missed it. So people like the scam team, like the person who the scammers, they use well recognized people, like for example Elon Musk or maybe Mark Carney. Those videos, so those are very very much very like confusing. Yeah, so just to
Yes, this will be an ongoing challenge. Like the progress of AI and the progress in fraud using AI, is the speed is exponential, and we are catching up at a linear speed. So like we'll have to think like the fraudsters basically to be able to.
So if I can interrupt, to put this in context, we looked very seriously at ISOC's 5-year plan and also their 2030 plan. And we assessed what they would like to do. And really 2 things jumped out at us, is education and connectivity. And so we reached out to ISOC Mexico, which for the last 2 years has trained 2,000 people. And good stuff, but it's all workshops. And we're doing workshops. The first workshop we're doing is next week, particularly do seniors, but it's not the goal. To do 14 million people in Ontario, we need a really top-notch online course. And so what Zulkar did is produce a phenomenal program that people could, as a demo. Now, this is better than anything Learn has done or ISOC. So I don't want to brag, but Zugar is a genius. You know, it is great that he's joined us. You've got to see, if you haven't seen what he did, maybe one session we can do a walkthrough, but we're going to be proposing to in our proposal is them to support us with Beyond the Net for the two things, for indigenous connectivity and for rolling out this online course, because no one is doing it. And perhaps we can open it to anyone to take the course in ISOC chapters. But for now, it'll be focused on Ontario. Any final comments, Sugar?
No, I mean, if you want to take a look at the current prototype, you'll see it in lesson 3. So there's a separate section. It's called the grandparent scan. So here we basically start with the audio clip to increase the realism and the impact, the emotional impact, and the grandparent actually hears the panic voice of the grandchildren. That makes the scenario much more, powerful than just reading text. So we actually use audio-visual AI-generated audio in our course, to heighten the scenario. And it was pretty carefully designed to guide the learner to the foolproof solution, which is the callback defense. What is how? I mean, since it's very difficult to distinguish between real voice and AI-generated voice, the only foolproof solution is callback defense. You want, you have to call back, the person who just called you, just to verify, double check whether it's the same person. And we also included a small video on threat update, like how AI voice cloning it's rampant, and how we should really take it seriously. So in that portion in lesson 3, I believe for now it shows our course is current, and it addresses this cutting edge threat, AI threat. The seniors might be hearing in the news. So I think we have caught up.
Great, thank you.
I think also one of the things, it's good to educate people and make them aware, but tell them to take the responsibility of prevention too. Like, yeah, you can follow all of these things, and it's always evolving. So we're always playing catch up, right? So tell them, when you hear something, does it sound too good? I mean, that's an old saying. For example, I had somebody from Bell, in quotation, call me, as obviously he was Indian, but he said his name was Tom, so that's the first giveaway. And so he says, yeah, I've got this deal for you, and I know he wasn't a Tom, so I said, okay, Tom, can I have your employee number, for example? And he gives me the employee number and his last name and his extension. I said, okay, that's great. He says, would you like to speak with my manager to verify it? I said, no, Tom, I don't want to speak to your manager. I am going to call Bell and verify that you're working with them. And he hung up. So he's obviously taken somebody's name and employee number, but it sounded good. But consumers also have to take the responsibility of being aware and being, now that you guys are teaching them, to say, you know what, I'm going to take a step back from this and check this,
Moable.
Yeah, just I think another phenomenon I think I have observed, like that, like receiving SMS that they are offering me, they are offering job to me, and maybe they would like to collect maybe PII information or like confidential information. So this is another thing I've seen very I don't know whether you experience, but I experience quite a lot. I don't know from where they collect these phone numbers, things like that. So this is also another like investment as mentioned investment, the other thing, yeah, the Joan mentioned like the bill, like phone receiving phone and maybe the SMS. Yeah, all three. And see, they seems like very legitimate. Like the way they communicate, it's very difficult to. Yeah. So actually, one interesting thing I could tell you that my father living here, so he has a phone and he received such kind of SMS, and he was asking me that someone offering him jobs, so whether he will proceed. So I mentioned that's a scam totally. So this
Hey,
is the
can we move on to the next one, Moyable, since you're there?
yes.
Can you and Wacker talk about your strategy on the indigenous connectivity?
Yeah, so I could give an like high level idea, and then maybe you could also add. I think Waka recently mentioned, gave some idea, and also you visited Ottawa to meet with Sira and others, CRTC and others maybe. So the my idea is like we had some offline discussion with Glenn also, that maybe we could first focus on the like connectivity of the indigenous people. I think connecting the library, one strategy we figure out. And so we need to first figure out what is the scenario. Maybe first selecting some areas like where we would like to work, because it's a very large country, right? A very large province also. So, and what is the current situation there? And based on that, we could think of our strategy, connecting library. And on top of this connectivity, maybe one good application could be to like uh, uh, to share the like uh, the e-learning thing Julkar mentioned, and the maybe the internet governance. Maybe these two could be, I could see at this point the two application from top of my mind we could provide to these people. Yeah. And maybe also another idea I gave, that maybe on top of ISOC, maybe we could check whether the other large companies would have any CSR activities, like to spread like for the connectivity issue. Yes, so that is so far my input. Yeah.
Okay. Wacker, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
So I think as Mohibul mentioned that we need to engage some like activities in the indigenous digital sovereignty, and ISOC Ontario can help champion long-term funding for community-owned networks by engaging with policymakers and highlighting the models, like, in the KNet, you gave the solution that there is a KNet as a local service provider in the northern communities, that they are working, to provide the internet connectivity in the indigenous community. And although that the spectrum is they don't have the high spectrum, because they are only providing only 3G services over there. So, yeah, we can partner with the indigenous tech teams to co-develop workshops or on cybersecurity and network management, digital literacy, and community ISP operations. So, for example, we can host a Northern Connectivity Skillshare. Like, we can invite KNet technicians as a trainers over there, and we can also expand our partnership with with academia and NGOs industry over there. So yeah, there are different plans and there are different ideas that we can have it and we can implement. And we can also research on improving satellite or low Earth orbit connectivity in remote communities. And you know that there are some fundings from the government to Telesat in Ottawa, because there is a aim and there is a mission of the Liberal government that they need to provide the connectivity each and every region in Canada. and that's why they are investing a lot of North orbit satellite connectivity through different satellite operators such as the Telesat. And the same thing, like because I work at Rogers, so Rogers, they are also like we are working on satellite to mobile connectivity in the northern communities, or in those region where there is no fiber footprint, and we don't have any uh, fiber connectivity or the wireless connectivity over there. So we are using satellite to mobile connectivity in order to provide the internet connectivity to those people who are who are living far beyond the cities, and living in the rural communities. And we can also promote community-led connectivity success stories through different reports, webinars, and conferences to inspire similar models elsewhere. And we can also provide technical support and volunteer expertise. So we had like different ideas and different we can implement initiatives in the indigenous community.
I think Moyabo's got a comment.
Yeah. So, yeah, just to add, maybe I think on the ISOC side also, I think they have experience maybe in other areas. If they have any experience, so that we could follow also, like,
Yeah.
or could take a look like how they do it. Yeah, because I used to follow their activities. I think Wakar also know the Aftab, right? Aftab.
Yeah. Aftab Siddiqui is
Yeah, Aftab is also, I think, working on some connectivity. I think sometimes he shared on LinkedIn from ISOC, I think, when he were working from ISOC. So I think ISOC has those experiences before. So maybe if we could find that, maybe that will be more acceptable to ISOC, maybe because already they did those things. Yeah, so maybe
Mhm.
that could be, and on top of that, we could also add new things. So that could be like our activity could be a role model, could be also on the ISOC community.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Where time is running out, we're trying to keep this meeting less than 1 hour. So, but back to the agenda. I think we have one other vote issue that's outstanding. So we applied to become a Norello at-large structure. So we need a nomination, and who would take over the position as our representative on Norello. So all of us attend Norello meetings. I'm the representative through another organization that Joan and I run, which is the Foundation for Building Sustainable Communities. But we need one of us that's here. We don't need Rukia because she's the secretariat of Norello. So one of us should self-appoint, or can we get from this group, who would like to do that position?
Yeah, I would like to propose maybe Walker as president, maybe if that is fine, probably he could represent, right?
Okay, so we have one nomination for Wacker.
Yeah, if he agrees, I didn't talk with him.
I know.
Just proposing, yeah.
Anyone else? You could self-nominate. So Zugar, are you interested? Joan? No, you can't. It's double dipping. Zulgar?
I'm happy to see Walker nominated for this one.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, are you okay? Walker's a busy guy. So Walker, are you okay with it? I just want to caution you. So you know what? If you like to do it, go ahead. Walker, you've been nominated, and it's the only one that's been nominated. So would you like to take the position?
Yeah, so I will ask the same question as Muhibul asked about the dedication, the timeline as being the ALS member in Narello. Can you give some idea, like how many time, like for the time commitment and the work under that position?
As a member of the ALS, they meet once a month. It's a 1 hour call. I think it's the second Monday at 3 o'clock every month. they always ask for people to volunteer for committees. No one forces you to be. The responsibilities are pretty small, except attending those calls, and especially voting when the election comes up in the spring. So as a responsibility, it's not bad. Jones, what's your opinion? Am I over exaggerating that it's not a lot of responsibility?
It's not, and the other thing is that everything is sort of integrated. ISOC, ICANN, it's not like you're learning something completely. Like with me, I mean, I'm on climate action for the UN, and they're all like, everything is different. It's work. But when I was part of ICANN, ISOC is kind of part of ICANN, not really officially, but it's the same subject matter, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So the other thing is, I'm not sure if Norello has a primary representative and an alternative. I know when I was the chair for MPOC, we created that so that if the primary representative could not be, do you know if that's part of Norello, Glenn?
I don't recall when I did the application, but that's a good point. So we could move forward as Wacker, the primary, and if it's too much work, I'm sorry, Zulgar, but I'm going to nominate you as a secondary. Is that's an excellent point, John. Yeah,
Yeah.
are we all
Yeah.
cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's I will take responsibility to get back to.
And I would also encourage Zulkar and Muhibur that they should apply for the fellowships in the ICANN so that they can interact more and more people in the ICANN community.
Yeah, I'm planning to apply next fellowship. Yeah.
Okay, good. And Zulkar, you do as well. You should do as well.
Yeah. I think Zulkar also on the process. So
Okay, good.
he's also
Good to know.
trying probably. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Zulgar did apply for the Mumbai event. He didn't get accepted. But as the first application,
I think he's
again.
in the wait list, I think, right? He's still having chance, I guess.
The next one is only for policy people. So
no, the Mumbai one, he has, I think, still have chance. Like
no, Zulgar, you got a rejection, right?
Let me. The email said I was put on a wait list, but I haven't. I don't know if I received any follow up.
No, you will. I will let you know about the process that if you have the confirmation that you are on the short list, and definitely in the next month, because many people they will apply for the visas and they will confirm you.
Especially if they are Pakistani origin. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you just brought up I told this to Zulgar before because he told me he got rejected he got an email, but I told him so many people from Africa will not get their visas because what the fellowship program does, it takes a lot of people from Africa, but Nigeria and other countries, they don't want to give them the visas. So they're going to go back to the people who are in the waiting list. So you may still be going to Mumbai, and that's in March.
I think one thing I'm just giving it like tricks, or maybe like just a suggestion. Maybe as Zulkar visited India, I think Zulkar still have Indian visa, right?
Yes, it's for I got the visa for a year, so the visa expires.
So maybe you could just send a polite email that you are available and you have Indian visa.
Yeah, just send an email.
That will add actually so they will have in their mind that if they selected you, then you will be able to travel. So maybe that could be one just.
Mohibur is right that if you can just let them know that you have the visas, maybe they can put you in the first place in the second list.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the heads up. Okay, I'll try that.
Okay. Okay, that takes us to the end. That's almost the top of the hour. So can I get
one suggestion, Glenn? Yeah, 1 second before we go. Maybe if we create a document or a folder where all of this information, like the agenda, the notes, so everyone can access it. I do it for all my committees, but it's under IEEE, of course. But so that all of the committee members, if they need to have something, and everyone is responsible for uploading information so that you can always get it. I mean, there are different ways of doing it. So we're starting out, we may as well start at the very beginning to do it.
So all this stuff is being put into a folder in Google Docs. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, fine.
Jonah, you're
Yeah.
okay with it?
I'm okay with it, and everyone else can upload any information in a folder in that doc, so that you're always on, because there's nothing like people saying, "Oh, can you tell me what that meant?" Or, it's your responsibility to know, right? So.
Great. So let's have a motion to conclude. Anyone want to make a motion?
I make a motion.
Joan, and who is second?
I second it.
Okay, Becker. Okay, next meeting. So is everybody okay? I've set up the date for Sunday, December 31st. It'll be meeting number 2, same time, and Duke. I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat. Let me just stop the sharing, and I'll go back to chat. So here is, and I'll send an email to everybody on the next meeting. So I'll send an invite from Zoom. Okay.
So how formal are we? Do we need to have, votes or just consensus?
We're working through the logistics, Joan. Wacker and I never really discussed this in the car coming back from Ottawa. We got sidetracked with all kinds of stuff, but this is a work in progress. So Wacker, maybe we can talk about what Joan. We can have a 3-way call with Joan on process. But for this meeting, I think it went well. For the agenda.
I just would like to add one thing, like on the next meeting, is if it is possible, like for the next meetings, is it like to send a meeting invite? That will be great. Yeah, so that I think that will be easier to track. At least I follow the calendar more. So
okay,
if possible to send a calendar invite, yeah, that would be great.
I'll do that. Okay, that concludes the meeting then. So I am going to just stop the recording because we're